Welcome to the deep dive. So you've shared some really interesting recent pieces covering, well, a few different areas: health trends, a celebrity fashion moment, and even generational style shifts.
That's right.
And we thought, let's connect these dots, see if there's, a bigger picture beyond just the headlines.
Absolutely. It's often fascinating how these seemingly separate things uh, might actually reflect similar undercurrents in culture.
Okay, so let's start with health and wellness. There seems to be this real move in 2024 towards what's being called mindful living.
Exactly. Yeah, your sources point strongly towards a pivot away from like the super intense restrictive diets or workout regimes
Right.
and more towards sustainable, balanced habits. Think soft wellness.
Soft wellness. Like what?
Well, less punishing workouts, maybe more yoga, breath work, even things like adaptogens are popping up more in conversation. It's just a gentler approach.
Hmm. And the material mentions Gen Z focusing quite a bit on sleep hygiene and mental health days. That feels, well, pretty different from the whole hustle culture narrative.
It really does. It suggests, I think, a growing awareness, especially among younger generations, about mental and emotional well-being, maybe pushing back against that constant pressure.
Yeah, maybe.
And you can even see something like the girl dinner trend fitting in there, a more relaxed, maybe less pressured way of eating sometimes.
Interesting. And what about this dopamine detoxing, taking breaks from social media?
Ah, yes. That seems to be gaining steam too. It's like this intentional pause from the constant stimulation.
A kind of reset.
Exactly, a reset. It fits right into this broader search for maybe more balance and intention in how we use technology. Have you noticed people talking about that?
I have, actually. Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Fashion. Kendall Jenner at Coachella. That was unexpected for a lot of people.
Right, big departure. Instead of the typical, barely there festival look,
Yeah.
she went for loose linen pants, a long sleeve top, a big hat.
It got described as quiet luxury meets desert chic, which sounds about right.
Mm. And the reactions were interesting, weren't they? Some people really liked the elevated simplicity of it.
But others kind of miss the wilder festival outfits, frankly.
Totally. Which raises the questions from the source material. Was it just practicality, like the heat? Or was it a deliberate fashion statement?
Or, and this is where it gets interesting, could it connect to that Gen Z trend mentioned? The whole modest is hottest idea.
That's the link we wanted to explore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jenner's look does seem to align, perhaps unintentionally, perhaps not, with this broader Gen Z thing, this move towards modesty or anti-glam.
Anti-glam, like the opposite of the heavy contouring and highlight we saw back in, what, 2016?
Exactly that. Now the focus seems much more on like the clean girl aesthetic, no makeup.
Oversized clothes, too, right? Baggy silhouettes.
Comfort seems key. And the sources suggest a few drivers for this Gen Z trend. Maybe sustainability concerns, wanting less fast fashion.
Makes sense.
Also, just prioritizing comfort and maybe a subtle pushback against overly sexualized imagery sometimes.
You see brands like The Row, Quiet Studios doing really well with that understated vibe.
Definitely. And other celebrities adopting it too.
So does this mean the end of that whole Y2K revival? You know, the low-rise jeans, the cutouts? Or is it just another turn of the trend cycle?
Well, it's probably a mix, isn't it? Fashion cycles always turn. But what's striking here is how these shifts in wellness and in fashion seem to share some underlying values,
Like what?
like a focus on well-being, on comfort, maybe a more mindful or intentional approach to how we live and what we consume.
So you're saying there's a parallel. The move to balanced mindful wellness kind of mirrors this shift to understated, comfortable fashion.
It certainly looks that way. It's almost like a less is more idea is bubbling up in different places.
Adaptogens and linen pants. Maybe not so separate after all.
Precisely. Which leads to a final thought, maybe for you listening. How might these trends towards less intensity, less exposure, maybe less consumption be connected?
Yeah, what could that suggest about where our cultural priorities might be heading?
It's definitely something to think about. Do these ideas resonate with what you see or how you feel things are changing?
Food for thought. Thanks for exploring that with us today.